Hello there and welcome back to another video, and this is 3-0 Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. A fantastic performance in the end as well against some tough opposition. It was indeed. Feel free to get your comments and thoughts in the comment section below as well, please, if you feel free to. Also, could you hit that like button? If that would just help out so much. That would also be awesome. And it's great talking to you guys in the comments as well. Now, when we came into this game, we had a slightly different lineup than usual. James Milner at right back, Konate getting his debut as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Konate as well. Tsimikas coming in, Virgil Van Dijk back in the lineup after the Champions League midweek. Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho, and then we had Salah, Jota, and Mane as well. And I think if we're going to highlight someone or just talk about someone anyway, for me, we've got to be talking about a little bit about Jota. Like Jota, he really struggled to make the impact that he would like to have made, like he does in most games as well. But you cannot fault the man for his effort, his drive, his willingness his willingness to run pretty much everywhere. And it just wasn't coming off for him in front of goal and stuff like that, not getting the right opportunities coming to him, which, you know what, they'll come to him. They will come back to him as well. It's fortunate in those ways that you've got guys like Mane and Salah around you that can come on. Well, I say come on, but they can also, share the goal scoring burden between them. So, I'm not too disappointed in Jota. It's a quiet game for him in some respects, but I imagine those defenders and midfielders for Palace will not have thought he was quiet with his running, his tenacity, his aggressiveness as well. I think that, some people maybe need to lay off him just a little bit. He's done really well for Liverpool since he's come. Yes, he hasn't scored today, but that's not really what matters at the end of it, is it? It's really, we've got the 3 points that we wanted, and we scored some really good goals as well. Thiago played well in the game, but had to come off injured, and he came off injured for a man that I've been wanting to see much more of for a long time, which is Naby Keita. And yeah, we'll get to Naby Keita's goal as well as we go on through the video as well. But I do want to talk a little bit about James Milner as well. Sort of looked like he would struggle in this game being at right back as well. Being 35, I think he is now, you start to wonder whether just being able to slot Milner in at right back or left back, when we're going to be able to sort of... I know we've got Tsimikas at left back now, so he's not going to get used there as much because you've got Tsimikas and Robertson, and both of them play really well. But Trent doesn't really have anybody. I think Nico Williams might still be injured. I might be completely wrong on that one, but I think he is still injured from the internationals anyway. So having James Milner there, I felt it was going to be one of those games, especially coming up against someone like Zaha. It's going to be a difficult game for him anyway, but apart from a couple of early shakes, first 10-15 minutes or so, I felt that Milner had a really good game. Was quite a good calming influence as well, being at right back. Kept to his position very, very well. Didn't stray too far. Obviously knowing his limitations in terms of pace and running ability and stuff like that, to go over a whole game as well. And he did. He played the whole game. Did not get subbed off. I felt he played really well. That's all I can say. For Milner's standards, I think he had a good game. Nothing to be too disappointed about or anything like that. Konate is an interesting one. I felt you've got to realise and remember that this is the guy's debut in competitive football for Liverpool in the Premier League, especially as well, against tough opposition in Crystal Palace. I can't say that enough, and especially now they've got Patrick Vieira as their manager. You felt and saw the style of play has changed. It's definitely changed. For the better for Palace anyway. They seemed way more organised and less open than Crystal Palace had been under Roy Hodgson. So Konate on his debut, first half I would say, maybe not the entire first half, but probably for the majority of the first half, there's some shaky moments. Let's just say that, shall we? I felt that he grew into the game quite well, and by the end of the game, looks like a Liverpool centre-back, and you know what I mean by that, with the likes of Matip, Gomez, and Virgil van Dijk, now Ibrahimo Konate as well being a very, very good option. I felt he grew into the game. There's a couple of tackles he made, I think if I remember rightly, was in the first half, and one of them was in the box. And in my mind, I'm thinking, VAR is going to call this a penalty, because it did sort of look like it could have been a penalty. Thankfully, it wasn't, and you're just wondering whether he was just a little bit too... We always say that Virgil van Dijk is as calm as you like. And it's true. He's calm as you like. He's a very calm and influence, but obviously he's the best defender on planet Earth. So he is calm, but it doesn't mean he's switched off. With Konate, I felt there was some moments where he was a bit too calm and not switched on enough to a situation, but that seemed to change, especially after half time as well. We were able to really, not shut up shop, because I don't believe that we ever really tried to do that. But I felt that he had a good game by the end of it as well. And he will grow so much in a Liverpool shirt from that appearance alone, and will hopefully feature much more in games to come in other competitions as well. So I'm quite happy with what I've seen from Konate today, knowing that we're going to get more from him as well, and fingers crossed as well he stays injury free, as goes for the rest of them as well. Sadio Mane joining the 100 club as well, 100 goals, and a very good goal it was indeed. In fact, it was our opening goal today, and it was a very good goal. And there's a common theme that maybe it's something that hasn't been addressed by Vieira just yet, or maybe is it something that is being taken away, like a focus being taken away from Palace, because under Hodgson you felt that set pieces were sometimes a little bit of a strength, but in this instance, in terms of defending anyway, it wasn't a strength for Crystal Palace. And to be fair, the delivery of corners, especially, were very, very good. I think one of the corners, I think for the third goal, that was by Salah. But Tsimikas' delivery, I feel, is really, really good. Really, really good. It challenges Robertson and Trent in terms of delivery. I think his delivery was absolutely spot on today, and I can't fault it whatsoever. But all three goals today came from set-piece opportunities, and the first one being Sadio Mane. Absolutely, it was good delivery into the box anyway. Mohamed Salah makes a great run, fantastic, really quick run across the box, and gets a powerful header on it, which looks like it should be like a skimming shot sort of header, but puts it on target. The keeper parries it. Sadio Mane is following up, and from a very tight angle manages to put the ball in the back of the net, and that was very, very good to see as well. It was, 43rd minute. It's just before half time, and Palace have been threatening, and if they manage to get to 0-0 at half time, they'd probably have confidence that they'd be able to come out in the second half, put a little bit more pressure on than they were, and be able to find a goal, especially through the likes of Benteke, who was having a bit of influence in some areas of the pitch, and Zaha, who also looked very, very sharp as well. But it took until the 78th minute for us to get our second goal, and it was again delivery from, I think it was Tsimikas again. I think it was Tsimikas. Delivery, coming in from a corner. Virgil Van Dijk gets onto the ball and nods it into the path of an oncoming Mohamed Salah, who absolutely blasts it into the back of the net for 2-0. And that was really impressive to see, because you can give yourself a sigh of relief after that. You know what it's like when you're 1-0 in front, or even 0-0, whatever it could be. But I say when you're 1-0 in front, it's on a knife edge whether it's going to go one way or the other, and whether it's going to, are they going to come back and equalise, and then do they get the impetus to then go on further? But if you get the 2-0, you take all the wind out of their sails, and that is really sort of what happened here as well. And it was a very, very good finish by Salah as well. Got booked off that one because he took his shirt off to celebrate as well. And then, because Naby Keita had come on for Thiago at this point, or he'd been well before this point anyway, again, another corner comes in. Salah gives us the delivery. Keita, or however you say his name, the goalkeeper for Crystal Palace, punched the ball out. And Naby Keita, just without even looking like he had to put any effort or thought or power into it whatsoever, just hit the ball on the volley, and it's in the back of the net. And you'll see it in the thumbnail of this video anyway, because I'm going to find it, of him just stood there looking like, did that actually just happen? Like, that's literally what he was doing. Like, did I do that? Did I do it? And the teammates are going around him, like, and celebrating with him and making him realise it's like, yeah, that's actually legit, man. That's your goal. What a goal that was. What a goal that is as well. What an absolutely fantastic goal that is. And for a fantastic player as well in Naby Keita, someone that has struggled so much at Liverpool with things like injuries and consistent game time and that. But now we've got again, and this also points towards our lineups and squad and stuff like that. When something does happen, someone gets injured, we've got strength and depth to come off the bench or for someone else to start in a different game. It's fantastic at the moment. It really is. And I'm buzzing because in the Premier League, how many goals have Liverpool conceded? One. We conceded one, and it was against Chelsea. Other games that we've played, we have not conceded. We have not conceded. And it is fantastic. It really is. Right now, what that means for us at this very moment in time, there's been a lot of other games that have played as well today. Maybe catch up on those after the weekend as well. Right now, I think it's Everton versus Aston Villa. Currently 0-0. But it means for us right now, out of 5 games with a plus 11 goal difference, which is important as well, with the likes of Manchester United and obviously Manchester City and Chelsea having good goal scoring margins. But saying that, Man City did draw today against Southampton, which was interesting as well. We are 13 points top of the table with a plus 11 goal difference after 5 games. That's not too shabby. We could have 15 points if we hadn't drawn against Chelsea. But to get 13 points from 15 available, it's a good start to the season. It's a really good start to the season. Very good start in the Champions League as well, while a little bit nail-biting at some areas as well, as you are all probably aware. But winning 3-2 in that game and taking all 3 points, it's a good start in all competitions so far by Liverpool. And I think what we're showing, if anything, right now, and I don't want to label it all on like Virgil Van Dijk, for instance, but when you've got all of your key players in key areas fit, available, and playing, so like having Alisson, having Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Trent when he's back from injury as well, having the likes of Konate, Gomez, and Matip being the guys that can either rotate or you can have different partnerships, as we saw in the Champions League with Gomez and Matip. And then you look at all the other, like having Fabinho, Jordan Henderson as well, Milner as well as a good option. You have all these players that you could use as a spine in any team, and they're all in the Liverpool team at the moment. And what you're getting is a lot of leadership, a lot more structure, which is very important and something we lacked last season, especially with the injuries we suffered, was the structure of the team. It looks so much more solid while also not stifling creativity and the quickness of our play and allowing the forwards to breathe and go forward and create and damage opponents. But we can defensively, we look an absolute mirror image of what we looked like last season. And it's because we've got key players available, like ones that, when you've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world, when you've got the best centre-back in the world, when you've got one of the best CDMs in the world in Fabinho, and then you've got leaders all throughout the team, whether it's the likes of, Tsimikas, in my opinion, in this game was very, very good as well. Obviously Van Dijk, Alisson's a leader, Milner is a leader, Henderson's a leader, Salah, I would say, leads from the front as well. You've got very experienced players, cornerstones of this Liverpool team available playing, and it's making a difference. And we're starting to see, we also now appreciate our squad depth by being able to, have Thiago go off injured, and fingers crossed that that's not a serious injury, but have someone like Naby Keita come in now and make an impact, a big impact on the game as well. Other substitutions that we made. So we had Jordan Henderson went off, and he went off for Divock Origi late on. He was back after his late injury. Sorry, his midway through the Champions League game injury that he had, which again that he was very good in, and he looked really sharp in this one as well. Curtis Jones came on for Diogo Jota, and Naby Keita came on for Thiago as well. And Curtis Jones looked lively as well. Seems to be wanting to take a lot more chances on his left foot at the moment. I don't know whether that's really related to a training video where he puts a left-footed free kick top bins or not. But hey, I'm all about it. If he wants to get as good with his left foot as he is with his right foot, I'm all about it. I felt he looked good. You could tell that he hadn't played much for us this season, if at all, if I remember rightly. I can't actually remember. But he looked sharp, and he looked like he was getting about the pitch really well. So again, more options that we've got. And you know what? We deserved that win. I thought it was going to be 3-1 to Liverpool, but I'll take the clean sheet, of course, and the 3 goals. and it's a nice spread of goals as well, and it sets us up really nicely. You know, just where we are right now, we're not going to stay. You know, I don't know if anyone can overtake us in the standings or not. Maybe Man United or someone could. I think Man United or Chelsea could on goal difference, but they'd have to score 3 goals or more, which doesn't seem to be looking like, you know, a hard job for United to do, especially with Ronaldo and stuff like that at the moment. But no, listen, I'm starting to ramble. I'm really pleased with the team, really pleased with the squad, and really pleased with that result as well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, if you please. And yeah, I'm happy. Who was your guy that you were watching out for today? For me, if I'm gonna look at one person that I was actually really happy, obviously we would all be watching Konate, but genuinely, while he probably wouldn't be man of the match for a lot of people, I felt that, you know, obviously Salah and Alisson were very, very good. Van Dijk was very, very good as well, and a lot of players were good. But I'm really happy to see Mane getting his goal again, and being a positive, you know, a positive influence in the Liverpool team. I'm not saying that he's ever been a negative one, but he was very, very positive in this game today, and he deserves it. He's had a tough time over the last season, so I'm very, very glad to see him getting back in the goals, score his 100th goal for Liverpool. I don't think it's a Premier League, but he scored 100 goals regardless. I'm very, very happy, but I love this entire team at the moment, and it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you later.